Evening, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Tonight brings us to Imola. Very difficult track. Really enjoy it, though. A lot of difficult corners, but the thing I like about it is it's very rewarding. Now, obviously, the harder you push, the more chance you've got of picking up infringements, but it's the same for all drivers. Now, this is the kind of track I enjoy because I believe there's only one DRS zone at Imola, whereas when we raced at Monza last Thursday, for me, it's just one of the worst tracks as a driver, personally. I mean, maybe watching it's a bit different, but actually driving it, I mean, I could have read my paper whilst I was driving on that track. It's so boring. It's basically long straights. There's absolutely no way you can pull away from people. But that being said, back to a proper racing track this week where plenty of corners, plenty of chicanes, plenty of things can go wrong. A lot can go right as well. But obviously, you need to be quite good at qualifying on this track because unless there's mistakes, you're going to really struggle to overtake unless it's on the straight. So we'll see what happens. I do believe as well, if you start on pole on this track, the car is on a slight bend, if I remember rightly, and it makes it quite difficult to get a good pull away because obviously, well, you want to be pulling away in a straight line, not on the turn. So we'll see what happens. But if it's the first time you've watched, then lobby options, it's a non-assisted league, PRL. So elite settings goes without saying. I believe it's a dry race tonight. We go on true weather, so it's off the Met Office. We get a weather forecast 2 days before, and that's it. I'm currently driving the Alpine and leading the championship. I think there's only 3 or 4 races remaining now, actually, but I need to check that on the calendar. But yeah, quite looking forward to this one. Recently, I've been starting at the back of the grid, just have a bit of fun, bit of overtaking, but I don't think I'm going to do that tonight. I think I'm just going to put a lap in and see what happens. Hopefully get the win. I've got some very good drivers here tonight as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Lots of difficult chicanes. The only real overtaking spot is the long straight. You've got the Villeneuve chicane. I believe it's a 4.9 kilometre racing track. Not sure how many corners, but there are a lot, and they are not very forgiving. You can take quite a lot of the curves on this track, but at the same time, if you get on the throttle too soon, it's curtains. You'll lose the back end, and there are a few corners here where it's quite easy to get your track limits, unfortunately, but we'll see what happens. So first of all, double check the weather. It's looking lovely, which is exactly what I wanted to see. Gonna put the car setup in. I won't be revealing that, I'm afraid, guys, for obvious reasons. That's a point, actually. I need to share this to the group, otherwise I'm going to get penalised and I'm going to have to start at the back of the grid at the end of the next race, which I don't want to do. So, here we go. Nearly forgot to do that then, and they're quite strict with that in this league, so you've obviously got to stream your race, and then you basically upload it to the Discord channel. So if there's any penalties, any infringements, any dive bombing, any bad driving, it can get reported and you will lose points.
There are a few cars out on track. Perhaps we should get out there before it gets too busy.
So, what do? Do I go out and set mediums, get a quick lap in? Might go out on some mediums to start with. Just like the colour yellow. Don't know why. Don't like it anywhere else, just on this game. I let a few people put a lap in. I like to see someone put a benchmark down and then it just gives me something to go off. But I had a little practice earlier and as per usual, it's very difficult to get the tyres up to temperature on this track. So, I mean, I was struggling to get them above 72 degrees, which is not optimal by any means. I mean, really, you want it around 80, but I just can't do it for whatever reason. And on a track like this, you do not want to do 2 out laps and then invalidate on the first corner, which could easily happen. It would just do your head in. So you've basically done 3 laps for nothing if you do that. So, yeah. I'll put a lap in a minute. It's a very historic track, this. It's, I believe, the first race was in 1980. And obviously, we had a couple of racing drivers pass away there, sadly. Obviously, the most famous one is Ayrton Senna. I think he died in 1994, bless him. And then, obviously, Roland Ratzenberger, he actually died the same weekend. And even Barrichello, I think he actually went into barrier on the first practice, so it was not a good weekend for F1. But since then, I believe, nothing has happened, so touch wood, it stays like that. The cars are very safe these days, obviously, and I think it's for the best. They've got bigger, and obviously they don't sound as good now, but obviously you don't want drivers dying, do you? Right. It's not really a gap here to go out, but I want to go out and warm my tyres up. But you need a good run at the track, really, so I'm not sure when to go. Maybe now.
Okay, me again, mate. We've made some changes to the way that ERS works this year, so you're going to have multiple modes to choose from in the race now. Have a play around with them in your MFD during the practice sessions and think about how you might use them on race day. I'll check back with you soon to chat more about it.
Getting really fed up with this race engineer telling me that every single week, every time I leave the pits. I'm fully aware you've changed the ERS. I do not need to be told again. Thank you.
Right, we're right on the cusp now. We've been pushed down to P11.
Got a bit greedy there. Into the Villeneuve chicane. Those shadows look horrendous. Mini hairpin. Got to be very careful. I like to get a late entry into this corner early on the throttle and then up the hill into the dreaded left-hander. Easy to invalidate here. Little dab into 6. Careful on the throttle all the way down the hill. And then you've got this very tricky chicane. Yeah, didn't like that. This one as well, easy to get track limits on this track. I'm going to be quiet now, guys, because, well, I need to concentrate on this. It's very difficult. Tyres on 70 degrees, brilliant. Whoa.
Okay, we've been pushed down to P12.
That'll do just nicely. That won a bad lap on a set of mediums, you know, especially as soon as I butchered turn 1. You don't want to pass me, mate? There's definitely a lot of time in that lap. I don't think I'm going to be in the 113s in
one lap of fuel left now.
race trim, but see what happens. I reckon maybe a mid 114. You can't seem to get anywhere near your time trial lap in Grand Prix mode. Remember the first time I'd done a league race, I was like, why am I a second slower? Couldn't quite understand it, but it turns out it's the same for everybody else.
We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
That was actually quite embarrassing just then, you know, going onto the the gravel, but it is what it is. And yeah, that's a lap round Imola. Quite happy with that lap, really. There's probably 2 or 3 corners I can improve on quite comfortably, but it does feel slightly different with mediums. You can feel the grip just not quite there, especially when you're coming out of the low traction corner. Like, I think it was that hairpin at the end of sector 1 when you go up the hill. Very difficult. I like to hit a late apex there. If you go in too early, then yeah, if you go in too shallow, you just can't get on the throttle at all. There is a perfect braking point on that, but it's very fine. It's like literally within 2 meters. If you can do.
Right, so far our best lap 1 minute 14.9.
How are we looking on the time board? Oh. Not bad. Who's this guy? Have I raced you before? Couple of new drivers here I don't recognise. Put pet sauce on now. Oh, did I even do my fuel? Yeah. Cool. Quick drink.
Okay, me again, mate. We've made some changes to the way that ERS works this year, so you're going to have multiple modes to choose from in the race now. Have a play around with them in your MFD during the practice sessions and think about how you might use them on race day. I'll check back with you soon to chat more about it.
Get another lap in, provisional.
Okay, just 2 laps of fuel remaining now.
And as you can see, that's what happens when you try and insult the corner, or you try and insult this track. It will just chew you up and spit you out, which is exactly what it's just done to me. Got too greedy, hit the curb, invalidate, and that was an absolute waste of 3 minutes. Absolute waste of time. Didn't even need to go that hard then, but I did anyway. So back to the pits, going to take a 2-minute break, and then I'm going to go back out and hopefully put a half respectable lap in, because that was just, well, embarrassing.
Pitting this lap then, come into the pits at the end of this lap.
Yeah, that wasn't good, but it's easily done on this track. When you're racing, you don't tend to attack it as hard as I just did then. I was just a little bit too early on the brakes. If you're too early, that means you turn in too soon. So that's pretty much what's just happened there. Hit the brakes, turned in, invalidated, and that's the end of your lap. You've just got about a minute then to think about how stupid you are when you return to the pits. And then you've got to wait for these guys, and then you've got to sit here, gloves off, and
With 13th in the speed trap, 297.1 kilometers per hour.
He's only 4 tenths off me. I don't really know how much setting mediums costs you in lap time, to be honest. I don't know how much it is. I can't imagine it's loads. Maybe a few tenths? No idea.
Okay, mate, our best lap so far, 1:14.9.
The thing that's nice about this track is there's one DRS zone, and obviously the new regulations, you get the DRS wing open after 1 lap. So if you're at Monza, you've got absolutely no chance. If you're racing people that are even within 8 tenths a lap slower than you, you still can't get rid of them. They'll just make it up on the straights. Whereas on a track like this, you do pretty much have 2 laps to shake them off. You've got lap 1, and then you've got to go around the whole lap to get to the home straight. So you have got two laps to break the DRS, and that's what I will be trying to do if I am fortunate enough to start on pole position. If I need to put a better lap in than that, because, well, it wasn't great. So, that be said,
Okay,
let's go to work.
mate. We've made some
Speak to you in a
changes
minute.
to the way that ERS works this year, so you're going to have multiple modes to choose from in the race now. Have a play around with them in your MFD during the practice sessions and think about how you might use them on race day. I'll check back with you soon to chat more about it. And that's just 30 seconds left in the session.
That was a pretty nice lap. Quite happy with that. Second quicker. Doesn't mean anything though. Need to get a nice race start here. It's nice to be back at the front of the grid though. I ain't got to worry about any collisions or rear ending or anything at the back now. I can just do my own race, hopefully get a good start and pull away. Got 2 laps to do it, so let's see what happens. What's that? 1:14.3. That's pretty good. I mean, I think my best time is a 1:13.7. So to do that in quali with no second chances, it's a pretty good lap. I'm quite happy with that, if I'm honest. Just got to be clean now. Got to get through these first few laps. It's very difficult, I find. That's when I'm most vulnerable, I feel, at the start of a race. The car just feels heavy and cold and horrible. But see what happens. I didn't actually get to see who finished where. Just too busy taking a drink. So, strategy. Ooh. Medium hard. Fuel. I think that'll do it. I'd rather start on the hard tyres, but if you get an early safety car, you're pretty much dead and buried because you're forced to stay out. And then if there's not another safety car, the people that were behind you originally have just basically had a free win, which I hate. So mediums it is. Let's go to work. Enjoy the race, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Okay, so our system checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of this lap. No rain expected for the time being. Superb parking there, mate. Let's make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as the lights go out. Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid is formed. Be ready with the clutch.
Let's go to work.
DRS now enabled. DRS enabled. Great work, that's a new fastest lap of the race. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Green flag. Tyre condition still looking good. Approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time. Okay, we've been given a time penalty. It will go against our finishing time at the end of the race. Get your head down and let's get it done. Okay, the pit window's open, so let's box this lap, box this lap. Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please. Okay, pit in this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach. Okay, go, go, go. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. You might experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible. So you know, we're getting some strange readings from a couple of the sensors. I don't think you need to be worried, just some bad data. So keep doing what you're doing. I'll let you know if we notice any genuine problems. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good. car, safety car. No overtaking, reduce your pace. Keep your delta number positive as we form up. Okay, we can take you this lap. Okay, mate, that's it. Go, go, go. That was a fantastic stop. Faster than we were expecting.
How did I know that was going to happen? Every single time. Leading the race by 6 seconds.
The safety car. You're leading, so don't pass it. Stay
and out
behind
comes the safety car. Just on control. Brilliant. Now, what does that do? That just puts me under a lot of pressure now, because I think I'm on the last track warning. I've got this guy behind me, who is on new mediums. Have I made a mistake going on the softs? I suppose it all depends how many laps this guy does. Hopefully, this guy stays out for 2 or 3 laps. Need to protect these tyres. The thing with a safety car, right, is it's so slow. And then look at my tyres, 58 degrees. You just can't generate any temperature at this speed. It's hard enough when you're pushing hard. My tyres have been running at about 84 throughout this race. I just knew this safety car was going to happen. I was into a nice little rhythm then, saving my tyres. All the work was done in the first stint. There was no need to push hard. A couple of stupid mistakes which led to a penalty. Very unlucky in my opinion, but it is what it is. This game can be a bit of a kick in the teeth sometimes, but see what happens. See how long this guy stays out for. Really could have done without this. I was looking forward to these last 6 or 7 laps, just relaxing and taking my time, and now all of a sudden I've got the cavalry right behind me that absolutely gunning for me. See what happens. Need to keep these tyres looking nice. How's the fuel looking? Got loads of fuel. It's amazing really, because when you actually watch these cars on TV, they look like they're going really slow like they do now, but we're actually going around here at 70. So it's unreal how fast these Formula 1 cars really can drive around these corners. I've got a feeling this guy's going to do another lap, you know. I don't know why. Maybe he won't. Soon going to find out. Tyres are on 0, which is good news for me. Got 7 laps on these. No idea how they're going to do. Absolutely no idea.
Okay, we're coming up to the safety car now.
Right, safety car's in. Speak to you guys in a minute.
Safety car is in this lap. Safety car in this lap. You'll be controlling the pace on the restart. Keep it steady until the safety cars reach the pit lane. flag. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Okay, the stewards have now enabled DRS. DRS is now online. Okay, clear. VSC deployed. The virtual safety car has been deployed. We need to keep a positive delta here. Slow down and maintain a positive delta. Okay, the safety car is out. Safety car is out. We need to form up at reduced pace. Keep a close eye on that delta time. Make sure to keep it positive. You're approaching the safety car, you're leading, so don't pass it. Stay behind the safety car. Right, let's pick up the pace a touch, please. We need to close to within 10 car lengths of the car ahead.
That was a really nervous restart to that race. I've got this guy behind me with 15 seconds worth of penalties and he's attacking me as if it's level par, and it's just like, bloody hell, man. Would not have been happy if I got taken out then. softs don't feel great, not gonna lie. It's gonna come in this lap, so it looks like it's gonna be 3 laps of racing. Got to be really careful because there's a couple of people behind me on 3-second penalties like me, but I'm on my last warning, and I've got this guy behind me who's really eager to get by, even though he's got absolutely no chance of winning. Basically got nothing to lose for 15 seconds worth of penalties. I just hope it's a clean restart for the race.
Okay, we're coming up to the safety car now. Do not pass it, you are the leader. Follow the safety car.
.48 degrees, unbelievable.
Okay, the safety car's coming in this lap. We'll be pacing the field in sector 3. Make sure to respect the delta until the safety car's into the pit lane. Flag. DRS has been enabled. DRS is now enabled. Okay, final lap. Let's go. Final lap. guys, yes! Come on, boys!
Wow, that was an eventful end to the race. Did not need that. You've got May behind me who's got absolutely nothing to lose on 15 seconds worth of penalties, and I'm on my last track warning, which could potentially drop me down a couple of places, but got the win. Happy with that. It's a pretty good race, really. I'm not happy that I got a 3-second time penalty because it's just scruffy driving, really. Just clumsy. They weren't even bad track warnings. I didn't even cut corners. It was just clumsy. Like coming out the final corner, rolled over the line ever so slightly. And yeah, but got the podium, got the win. Another 20 points. And I think I'm pretty close to winning the league now. Which is nice. Well, anyway, if you were watching, hope you enjoyed it. Sorry it's a bit of a boring race. That's why recently I've been starting at the back of the grid, so it just gives people a bit more to look at, because obviously the whole race there was nobody in front of me apart from the safety car, which is, I mean, it's good for me, but it does get quite boring, and it's very hard to push when you've not got anything to aim for. I mean, I did hammer it on the first stint. I cleared out 6-second gap, and that was the plan tonight. Get a good start, get a good 2 laps in, clear the DRS, get a 6-second lead, and yeah, job done. Lots of pressure at the end, but is what it is. Really enjoyed it. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, that's all she wrote.